Chapter 11 Finite and Non-Finite Verbs. Finite verbs. Look at these sentences. I go to the market every day. Rahu goes to office by the metro. Sadiq and Shamida go to school with their father. Rita went to the bakery. In the first three sentences, the verb go changes its form depending on the subject. I go, Rahu goes, Sadiq and Samida go. Here the verb is controlled or limited by the person and number of the subject. That is important. Here the verb is controlled and limited by the person and number of the subject. The fourth sentence, the verb go changes to the past tense, went to show time. We notice that the verb undergoes three types of changes. Changes according to number, person, and tense. In such cases, the verb is said to be a finite verb. A finite verb is a verb that changes its form according to person, number, and tense. We can recognize finite verbs by their form and function. Most finite verbs form their past tense form by adding d, ed, or t at the end. However, we know that irregular verbs make their past tense in a different way. You might have already studied regular and irregular verbs, so you may understand this sentence. Most finite verbs form their past tense form by adding d, ed, or t at the end. She danced gracefully. Dance is changed into dance is the base form and danced is the past form of the verb. They ate their dinner and left. Eat changed into ate. Leave is changed into left. The first one is regular verb. The second one is irregular verb. So regular verb we can make by adding ed or d to the base form of the verb. Base form or root form. Base form I shall explain. Write, wrote, written. So normally we say we conjugate a verb this way. Present tense, past tense, past participle. Write, present tense, wrote, past tense, written, past participle. Here, three forms are different. So it is the irregular verb. And the first one, write, is called as or is known as base form. So that is the base form of the verb. Base form is always present tense plural, not singular. Present tense singular we get when we add s or es to the base form. So base form of the verb is always plural. That's the first, is also known as first form. In the simple present tense, finite verbs have an s at the end when the subject is singular. So I told you just before how to make present tense singular. Present tense singular by adding s. We make by adding s to the base form. Look at the example. Sahil cooks tasty food. Here cooks is a verb and it is singular because there is an s to the base form. Base form is cook. Why we use s here? Why we use singular form of the verb here? Because Sahil, the subject is singular. So if the subject is singular, we have to use the verb, singular verb. Second sentence. He writes poems very well. Here the verb is writes. Subject is he. So the plural form the writes is write, W-R-I-T. Singular form is W-R-I-T-S, writes. Why? Because the subject is singular. India is an ancient civilization. India is an ancient civilization. Here the verb is. So singular. All sentences and clauses have at least one finite verb. That's important. All sentences and clauses have at least one finite verb. If they don't, they will be called phrases. Phrases are a group of words without a finite verb. It has some sense, but doesn't have full sense. The phrases gets full sense only by adding a finite verb in the proper place of the phrase. We are brave girls. R is finite, so it is a sentence. To walk from here to Main Street, non-finite verb, so it is a phrase. To walk from here to Main Street, there is no finite verb. A group of words. To walk from here to Main Street, but no finite verb. Rashid plays the flute on our band. Plays is finite, so it is a sentence. Enjoying the evening, non-finite, so it is a phrase. There is no finite verb. Now let us study in little detail about non-finite verbs. Now read these sentences. They wanted to attend a music concert. They wanted to attend a music concert. They enjoyed watching the show. They enjoyed watching the show. In these sentences, the verbs wanted and enjoyed are in past tense form. They are finite verbs. We also have here the verbs to attend and watching. These two verbs are not limited or controlled by person, number or tense. They don't change according to the subject or the tense of the main verb. That is the difference. So to attend and watching are non-finite verb. They are called verb in a sense, but they are not finite verbs. These verbs do not depend on number, person or tense. Anis wanted to attend a music concert. Here singular subject, Anis. They want to attend a music concert, present tense. Anis enjoyed watching the show, singular subject. They enjoy watching the show, present tense. Verbs that are not limited by tense, person or number are called non-finite verb. They are not governed by a subject and hence do not change their form with the person, number. Neither do they change with changes in tense. Look at here. Here, to attend, first sentence. Second sentence, to attend. Third, watching. Fourth, watching. The first sentence, subject is Anis, singular. We use to attend. Second sentence, they, plural, but we did again we use to attend. There is no change. Anis enjoyed watching. They enjoyed watching. So you understand? Here, to attend, watching are non-finite verb. They do not have any connection with the subject of the sentence. But if it is finite verb, the verb should be in accordance with the subject of the according with the subject. Non-finite verbs are often come after the finite verb in a sentence. Another thing is, we use non-finite verbs after the finite verb. Some sentences, sometimes they come at the beginning of a sentence. So the place of non-finite verb is not limited. It may be either the beginning of the sentence or after the finite verb. A sentence cannot be formed with only a non-finite verb. So we cannot make a sentence only with a non-finite verb. Look at the examples. Arun asked Ratan to make some coffee. Arun asked Ratan to make some coffee. Ranu enjoys painting pictures. Ranu enjoys painting pictures. Swimming is his hobby. Here, asked, enjoys, and is are finite verbs. To make, painting, swimming are non-finite verbs. Exercise 1. Pick out the finite and non-finite verbs in the following sentences and write them in the table on the next page. The first has been done for you. Hint: if you try changing the tense in the sentences, the non-finite verbs will not change. That is, when you write, there is no change in the non-finite verb. Maybe there is change in the tenses of the finite verb. She works hard every day to earn living. She works hard every day to earn living. Here, works finite verb, non-finite verb, to earn. So the remaining exercises will be done by you yourself. Answer key will be given at the end of the class. Types of non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs are of three types: infinitives, participles, gerunds. First, in the infinitive. Infinitive is the base form of the verb, used in a non-finite way. I already explained to you what is the base form. Now you understand. Generally, to is placed before the base form to make to infinitive. So to plus base form is infinitive. Generally, to is placed before the base form to make to infinitive. That is to plus base form of the verb. We went to watch the film. I would like to learn dance. Here, to watch is the infinitive. watch is the base form. To plus watch, to watch. To learn, learn is the base form, plus to learn. Some of the uses of the infinitives are shown below. To play is his passion. Here the infinitive is to play. It is used as a subject of a sentence. I do not want to swim. Here the infinitive is to swim as object of a verb. To pass the test, you need to work hard, with the nature of an adverb. Here, to pass the test, that is not a subject, even though it begins with a sentence, but to pass is not a subject. It is like an adverb. To pass the test, here subject is you need to work hard. So say something more about what you need. That is the way to clean the computer. Here to clean is the infinitive and it is an adjective. When the infinitive follows certain verbs, to is often dropped, D-R-O-P-P-D, dropped. Such verbs are help, dare, D-A-R-E, let, make, need, observe, fall, hear, see, watch, behold, feel, lease, L-E-A-C, etc. Naina did not dare disobey her father. We should not use to here, to disobey. Instead, we dare disobey. Dare to disobey, wrong. I heard him shout. I heard him shout. It is not to shout. He made me sing, not to sing, instead of sing. I let him go, not to go. The form of the infinitive without to is called bare infinitive, B-A-R-E, bare. Bare infinitive. Exercise 2. Fill in the blanks with the correct infinitive forms of the verbs given in brackets. Third exercise. Complete the following sentences using an infinitive. Fourth. Combine the following sentences using infinitives. One has been done for you. We went to the cinema. We watched a movie. The two sentences are given. We combine to one. We went to the cinema to watch the movie. So how does we do it? We watched the movie. The subject of the second sentence is omitted and the main verb watched is changed into an infinitive by making to plus watch. One more I will do for that. We rang the railway enquiry. We asked for some information. So how can we join by using infinitive? We rang the railway enquiry to ask for some information. Here we ask, we is removed, asked past tense is changed into to plus base form, that is base form. We rang the railway enquiry to ask for some information. Now the participle. Examine the following sentences. Leda watched Muhammad playing the match. The wounded soldiers lay in the field. The words italicized, that is playing and wounded, in this sentence are participles. Participles are non-finite verbs. They are mainly two types of participles. The present participle formed by adding ing to the base form of the verb. The past participle formed by adding ed to the base form of the verb or formed in irregular way. So, two types of participles, present participle and past participle. We make present participle adding ing to the base form. Write, writing, play, playing, run, running. Past participle, we can make by adding ed. Play, played, played. Irregular way ആണ് buy, bought, bought. B-U-Y, buy, B-O-G-H-T, bought, B-O-E-H-T, bought. So underline exercise 5. Underline the participles in the following sentences. Okay, you have to do that exercise. Exercise 6. Join the sentence using a participle. So, Ira saw some ladies. They were chatting in the bus. How can we join? So, I will show you. Ira saw some ladies chatting in the bus. So, just like infinitive, the second sentence, they subject and verb were taken out, and only the participle is taken. Ira saw some ladies chatting in the bus. I heard a loud scream. It was coming from the house, but here I heard a loud scream coming from the house. So the subject and verb is taken out and the ing form is taken. The gerund. A gerund is a noun A gerund is a noun formed from a verb by adding ing. It is just like a participle, but the uses are little different. A gerund may follow adjectives, prepositions, and other verbs. It may come in the beginning of a sentence as a noun. Singing is my hobby. Here, singing is a gerund, subject of the sentence. It comes in the beginning of the sentence. I love singing. Here, singing is the gerund and object of the verb love. And at the end of the sentence, I am tired of waiting. Here, waiting is the gerund. It is the object of the preposition. So you understand. Now exercise 7. Underline the infinitives, participles and gerunds in the following sentences. That you can do it yourself. You will get the answer key.